Welcome back to HCC News. Welcome back to HCC News. Welcome back to HCC News. Welcome back to HCC News for Sports. I'm Daren Dunn. Welcome to a special sports edition taped in front of a live studio audience. For sports, I'm Daren Dunn. At 6'1", Joe Mitchell proved he could do something many didn't know he could. Dunk. He got up in transition and threw down during the first half against Barton County. The Cougars only suited up 8, but were a tough contender for the Blue Dragons. Mitchell would go on to hit late free throws that sealed the victory. Steve Eck was not happy with HCC's passing, but the Dragons pull away slightly for a 69-56 victory. It took a mighty effort, but number 7 K-State was able to come away with another victory. Denny Clemente and Dominique Sutton both dropped down 21 to help the Wildcats surpass the Cornhuskers. Nebraska was playing with a vengeance after Texas walloped them by 40 in their previous outing. Despite leading by double figures at one point, the Cornhuskers would drop the decision. Wildcats win 91-87. Kansas had to fight and scratch for everything they got on Big Monday. ESPN pitted number 1 KU in its second straight road game on Big Monday. This game came against the red-hot Aggies of Texas A&M. Coached by former Shocker coach Mark Turgeon, the Aggies came to play. Nothing was officially decided until the waning moments. Key free throws allowed the Jayhawks to gain a much-needed lead. Xavier Henry, Cole Aldrich, and Marcus Morris all dropped in a dozen points each. Sharon Collins struggled to manage 7. KU wins again on Big Monday, this time 59-54. Joe Mitchell can dunk at 6'1", but Nate Robinson does it at 5'9". The New York Knicks guard locked in his third Sprite Slam Dunk Competition trophy over last weekend's All-Star outing for the NBA. He is the first player to win the competition 3 times. Dante Stallworth eclipsed the NFL in a minor way when he was reinstated Super Bowl Sunday, then let go by the Browns. The wide receiver is now thankful to be getting another chance as a Baltimore Raven. The Ravens signed Stallworth to a 1-year deal, this after his DUI vehicular manslaughter charge. The record belongs to Her Majesty. With 1,041 points in her career, Heather Robin is HCC's all-time leading scorer. She dropped 14 on Neosho in the opening round of the Region 6 playoffs to guide the Lady Dragons to a 94-61 victory. Arielle McGee, who already set the rebounding record, now sets her eyes on the record for blocks. She is 8 blocks away from claiming the record as her own. With the first round behind them, along with the anticipation and pressure of Robin breaking the scoring record, the Lady Dragons now look forward to destiny. Cruising to victory was a theme for both HCC basketball teams. The men took care of a 4-27 Fort Scott squad. A 76-47 victory came behind Dylan France, who couldn't miss. He went 3 for 3 behind the arc in the opening 6 minutes of the second half. The Buckets extended a 13-point lead and only strengthened Blue Dragon confidence. HCC moves easily into the second round. Home field was not good to HCC baseball. Neither were the Cougars of Barton County. The Cougars pulled out their brooms and swept the Blue Dragons in 2 games. A second game, 9th inning rally fell just short for the Blue Dragons, who trailed by 2 runs. Ryan Mayfield was able to hit a single and steal second base. Luca Costa reached on a walk, followed by a Mace Kroll 2-run triple. Extra innings were needed to decide this one as the Cougars got a much-needed ribby. HCC would fill up the bases but leave every single one full. HCC falls 3-2 and 7-5. The University of St. Mary probably wishes they had nothing to do with HCC softball. Unfortunately, they had to play the Lady Dragons. The game saw HCC post 9 hits and score 13 times. The runs were too much for St. Mary as they posted only 5. The love was spread as 10 Lady Dragons scored. HCC softball improves to 5-2. Round 2 of the Sunflower Showdown ended in the same fashion. Another KU victory. K-State held serve, tying the Jayhawks up to the 45-point mark. Then it all went awry. In his final home game, Sharon Collins posted 17 points. The win gives KU their 6th straight Big 12 regular season championship. Xavier Henry added 19 points as the second-ranked Jayhawks defeat the 5th-ranked Wildcats 82-65. Denny Clemente paced K-State with 21 points. KU now has the nation's longest winning streak at home with 59 games. In a related note, former HCC news anchor Mindy Jenks shared a bus with the Morris twins on game day. Peyton Manning has made a career out of being a pain in the neck to opponents. Now, the pain is in his neck. A pinched nerve sent the All-Pro quarterback to Chicago for surgery. The injury is not expected to hurt his offseason workout or next season's Super Bowl run. Bottom line, Peyton. Hope you had a chance to fill out a bracket this year. Brackets are in abundance this time of season, found on many websites, including ESPN.com, CBSSports.com, and Facebook. Fine prizes are offered to the person that comes the closest. Most, if not every, ESPN analyst has the Kansas Jayhawks in their Final Four. Kentucky and Syracuse follow with strong nods as Kansas State is filtered throughout. Most analysts are thinking a Kentucky-Kansas championship showdown that would pit Coach Bill Self against Coach John Calipari for the second time in 3 years. The two last met in the 2008 National Championship when Calipari was with Memphis. Poor shooting at the free throw line late by the Tigers allowed Mario Chalmers of Kansas to send the game into overtime on a buzzer-beating three-pointer. The rest, as they say, is history. LaDainian Tomlinson has finally found a home. After visits to both Minnesota and New York to meet with the Vikings and Jets, he made a decision. He lands a 2-year deal with New York that will most likely see him touch the ball 13 times a game. He replaces a Thomas Jones rushing attack that put up nearly the same numbers LT saw last season. You will remember Jones signed with Kansas City. You can't bite a pigeon's ears off. Perhaps that's why he got the job. Former boxing champion Mike Tyson is set to host an unusual show for the Animal Planet. The show will center around pigeon racing. It is a sport that intrigues Tyson, who will host the show while trained professionals handle the birds. Taping begins this year with episodes surfacing in 2011. Michael Jordan is making a mark in the state that made him famous. After starting a career in college at North Carolina, it would appear he intends to finish there, finishing in the state, that is, as the NBA has approved his bid to buy the Charlotte Bobcat franchise. The $275 million bid went through and fulfilled a post-playing career goal for Jordan. Jordan also has a son playing in college. Jeff Jordan, a guard for the Fighting Illini, will play for an NIT championship with Illinois. Perhaps behind the curve established by his father, Jeff only averages a touch over 1 point a game. Speaking of the Bobcats, Oklahoma City became their latest victim. Despite having a better record, the Thunder dropped a 92-100 decision. 26 points from Kevin Durant were not enough to match a balanced Bobcat attack. The Thunder sit at 41-25, a record that has them only 8 games back in the West and clinching to a 5 seed for the playoffs. That's a look at sports this week. And now over to Alan and Steven for 5 Good. That's how I see it for sports. I'm Daren Dunn. Make it a great week.